Exclusive, Man City, facing two issues in bid to sign £67 million star, Manchester City are being forced to contend with a duo of 11th-hour stumbling blocks in their attempts to lure Andrea Cambiaso and Juventus teammate Douglas Luiz to the Etihad Stadium in the final days of the winter transfer window, GivenSport sources have revealed. The Sky Blues have not been afraid to splash the cash this month, with Omar Marmush being the most expensive acquisition thanks to completing a £59 million switch from Eintracht Frankfurt, but boss Pep Guardiola has remained in the market for further reinforcements after falling adrift in the Premier League title race. Director of Football Txiki Begiristain has been leading the recruitment drive for the final time before departing at the end of the season, when he will be replaced by Hugo Viana, and there is still time to oversee further deals after negotiating the mid-season arrivals of Abdulkader Kuzanov and Vitor Reis. Manchester City are facing two issues in their bid to complete the late signing of Cambiaso, according to GMS sources, as Juventus are contemplating whether to increase their demands and are unwilling to make a final decision over his future until after their Champions League clash with Benfica on Wednesday. The 24-year-old Italy international is set to miss the European encounter due to nursing an ankle injury and not feeling fully fit, but the Serie A heavyweights are still forcing the Sky Blues to play the waiting game as they are keen to assess their options instead of rushing into sanctioning his departure. GMS sources have been informed that Manchester City's pursuit of Cambiaso has been complicated as Juventus are poised to slap a higher price tag in the region of £67 million on him after initially being open to offers in excess of £50 million, as his exit would result in head coach Thiago Motta having limited time to secure a replacement. The left-back's current employers are in a strong negotiating position thanks to 4.5 years remaining on a contract which allows him to pocket just shy of £72,000 per week at the Allianz Stadium, which has led to the reigning Premier League champions being in danger of having an uphill battle. Manchester City may succeed in reaching an agreement for Cambiaso if they meet Juventus' initial asking price and are prepared to include add-ons when they formalise their interest with a bid. GMS sources have learned, and one sign of encouragement is the fact the Italian giants have begun searching for a fresh option on the left-hand side of their backline. GMS sources have been told that Juventus are bracing themselves for an offer from Manchester City for the acquisition of Cambiaso and Luiz, but they would prefer their counterparts to hold off heading to the negotiating table until after they discover whether they will be progressing in the Champions League. The latter would return to familiar surroundings if the move goes through, as the Brazilian midfielder had a previous spell at the Etihad Stadium, prior to completing a £15 million switch to Aston Villa in July 2019. But his current employers are going to play hardball and hold out for lucrative terms in order to entertain a double deal. Manchester City have been holding internal discussions about recruiting Cambiaso and Luiz as Guardiola is desperate to secure a left-back and further competition in the middle of the park. GMS sources understand, and there is optimism that they will be able to convince Juventus to cash in this week. GMS sources recently revealed that the Sky Blues are ready to push for the acquisition of Cambiaso, with Begiristain keen to thrash out a deal in the coming days despite being aware that it will take a hefty offer to ensure his services are acquired before the fast-approaching February 3 deadline.